Millions of California residents shop at farmers markets each week. Farmers markets play a vital role in bridging the gap between urban environments and nature.
I don't wanna be your sweet lemonade. I don't wanna quench your thirst when you got the cream. I'm not a poster on your wall. I'm a human after all.
Without access to natural food, the human-nature relationship collapses. My name is Eliezer Margolis. I'm a retired clinical psychologist. I have lived here in Mill Valley for the past 10 years. So I think a good place to begin is to talk about how we are grounded in our lives. Farmers markets have everything to do with that. Increasing our intimacy with the most basic elements of our life, one of which, of course, is nutrition, feeding ourselves, food. How we go about feeding ourselves is really part of how we ground ourselves in our existence. It's a slow method because it takes time. You have to go to a farmer's market, separate from buying your staples at a big box grocery store.
A lot of times you go into a grocery store and you see packaged food and you have no idea where it came from, who harvested it, what practices were used to create it and harvest it. Hi, I'm Bex. I'm the CSA coordinator here at Acton on Verba. Acton on Verba is 3 different farms here in Oakland. So we run the CSA program here that's community-supported agriculture. As the CSA coordinator, I make sure that all of our produce is fresh and beautiful, and we also run an aggregated CSA program, and we work together to provide fresh food access for people in Oakland. Here, you can volunteer and you can pick a carrot and know exactly where it goes.
Shopping at farmers market, to me, is a direct link to the ground that we live on. It allows you to know the connection between our land and the food that goes into our bellies. And I don't think that you can learn that going to a grocery store. I think that nobody's going to answer your questions about how they grew food at a grocery store. And you have that connection directly to the land. And I can't think of another way to do it besides going to a farmer's market and talking to farmers. My name is Steve Pulliam. I'm the executive director of the farmer's market here. Of Heart of the City Farmers Market, of course. I just sort of manage all of the vendors and the employees that work for us. Just try to make sure that the customers are happy and content.
Approximately 25,000 customers rely on SNAP benefits on the first of every month. 5.5 million Californians rely on SNAP and EBT cards to fund their grocery shopping. The government sends roughly $1.1 billion in funds to California each month.
Well, SNAP is a food assistance program that's funded by the government that allows people, low-income individuals, to be able to purchase healthy food for their families.
During the government shutdown, these funds were delayed 2 weeks, leaving most Californians with no money for food and forcing them to resort to other sources.
As far as the shutdown affecting EBT cards, it did affect shoppers because most of the EBT customers get their cards loaded at the beginning of the month, so they have money to shop for the month. Now, because of the shutdown, they didn't get those cards loaded until the 3rd week of the month, I believe, so they went weeks for a lot of them without being able to buy food for their families, so it was a really tough time for them.
My name is Byron Gordon. I'm a senior marketing manager here at Glide. The Glide Foundation is a social justice organization. We do outreach on behalf of the underserved. The Supplement Nutritional Assistance Program, which formerly took over what was the food stamp program.
When the government shutdown lifted, families regained access to healthy, natural, and fresh foods, reconnecting themselves with nature.
Absolutely more people came here. We were serving more meals. Our department went into overdrive to get the word out to our donors that people are literally going to starve, not knowing where they're going to get their next meal if their SNAP benefits are cut. And that's where meal programs such as glides come into play, and they're necessary exactly for that kind of reason. The politics of the day will swing, but glide is always there. We don't waver in our commitment to the underprivileged and those who can't fend for themselves.
The way people are disconnected from their food systems definitely creates a distortion of the value of where their food comes from and the nutritional value even. A lot of people are stuck with a small range of food that they eat, typically because they weren't exposed to it.
The thing about the farmers market is that it's giving the consumer an opportunity to be more integrated with where their food comes from, making choices about that according to what their values are.
Doing something here, like we'll have classroom field trips, and I've never seen kids so ready to eat something that they've never seen before. I think a lot of parents can relate to the fact that it's hard to get kids to try new food. It is not hard here. They will point at any leaf and be like, can I eat that? So it creates more value.
The real issue I'm really focused on is, if you think about processed food, you have to think about how your own existence is a processed existence.